my shirt is so wrinkled? I didn't feel like changing it because I have an idea. I had something that just happened and I really wanted to get it recorded. I met a woman who is an alienated grandmother, and she has, she has like a few kids, and she's not alienated from all of them, but just one. And so she was telling me about a text exchange that she had with the other child. And apparently this child is under a lot of stress, a lot of, new job, a lot of pressure. They have to take care of the kids and, all this kind of, like normal everyday parenting stuff. For us, it's normal every day. But, this generation, the generation of kids that we are dealing with, like our children, sorry, but they're weak. They grew up, they pretty much grew up on the internet. And so it's when they say everything is handed to them, it was not necessarily only handed to them by us, because for me, I'm not a handed over kind of mom. I'm not like, go figure it out. You want a new thing, then what are you going to do to earn it? That was my thing, is like my son wanted he wanted to buy stuff like video games and things. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do for it? So my dad paid him $20 a week to go to his place of business and sweep up and wash his truck. And that's how he earned his $20 every week. So, they got to learn, because in this world that we live in, you have to earn a living, and it's just not handed to you. So that I'm not that mom that my kids were entitled. I can't imagine in any scenario where they were entitled. But so when we say that these kids are entitled, everything was handed to them, think of it, put it in a different box, that they grew up with the internet. So any answer, any question they had, they could just find it online. Everything is right there at their fingertips. They don't have to work for it. They don't have to go look for it. Remember the encyclopedia? We never had encyclopedias because they were too expensive for our family. So we had to go to the encyclopedia at school. So if you had a question about something, you had to wait till you go to school, and then you had to wait till you had a pass to go to the library, and then you got to look through volumes. Okay, like these little boys and girls that we have now, we had to look through volumes of encyclopedia. Luckily, everything was alphabetical, and we learned how to look things up, and that process to get an answer for a question. What do chipmunks like to eat? You go on your phone, what do chipmunks like to eat? Boom, you got the answer. But what we have to do is, like I said, you have to go and you have to work for it. So that's what I mean by everything is handed to these kids. They don't know how to work for anything. And I'm generalizing, so don't judge me. Everything is just at their fingertips. So they don't have a lot of grit. They don't have a lot of backbone. They don't have strength to push forward. If they're having a hard time, if they're having a lot on their plate, they cannot handle it, they just buckle. So this conversation that I was having was about that. It was about, I'm under a lot of stress. I've got this and that with the kids, and because they cannot handle stress, every little ask that you have, it's like you might as well be screaming it on a megaphone, like demanding stuff, like, oh, yeah, can you send me that recipe that you found? Like, if I'm asking, like my kid, oh, when can you send that recipe? I really want to make that cake. It's like a huge ask. It's like too much. You like, okay, ask one more thing of me and I'm going to break. Like, this is what we're dealing with. So when I said in other videos, like everybody has a part in your distance, that is your contribution to the discord, right? And we don't know, unknowingly, we ask things like, oh, hey, how come you didn't call me yesterday, or you texted me this, and just asking stuff. It's too much. It's like too demanding. It's like they look at it as you being toxic and narcissistic and negative, which it's not. But when you're speaking to somebody that is emotionally raw and weak, you might as well be pounding them on the head with a hammer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making this video to help you understand that, like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Yeah, you did stuff. You did stuff unknowingly and innocently, but when you're speaking to this generation of children, you have to speak another language, and you have to like, and I know it's like a lot of hard work, okay? Because some people do like, I don't want to work that hard. If they don't want to talk to me, then fine, whatever. Then I don't want to have to work to earn my kids' love back. Well, they will love you. They always love you. That's not a question. It's, can they handle you? And that's really what I think a lot of the source of all of this strife is. They cannot handle you. They cannot handle you constantly asking or making demands of their time, or just they just want to be, they don't want to be left alone. They just don't want to deal with that. Yeah, so negativity and toxic and all of these things that the names that they call is because they're at their threshold and they cannot anymore. And it's really sad that, like a 35, 38-year-old woman cannot handle like the regular pressures of life. If you cannot handle those pressures of life, like, how are you going to handle anything else? I have too much. I've got to take the kids to soccer, and then I got to do laundry, and then I gotta make dinner, and then I have my job, and I've got uh, after work stuff I got to do, and it's just too much. And then you got chores, you got to clean the house, and what it's called, time management. It's like just figuring your shit out, right? Everything you got to prioritize. What is the most important thing you got to take care of? I got to pick up the kids, and I got to make them dinner. I got to feed them. Then I got to take a bath and to do the homework and whatever. But if you, as I'm talking to the adult child, you cannot eliminate things from your life that is causing you too much stress and pressure. You got to clear that. You got to clear your plate. I did that recently with my business. I was doing too much. I was doing too much stuff for other people and not enough stuff to take care of my business. So I had to do an assessment. So maybe what you can do is, if you are in a child in this circumstance, make a list of all the shit that you do during the day and figure out, prioritize it, and then figure out what can you just eliminate. Kids don't have to be in 15 different activities after school. They don't have to have, like, it's ballet season, and then it's like soccer season, and then it's baseball, and then football. It's great to have all of these things, but there's other things that are important, like being with your family and learning responsibilities around the home, and learning how to manage your money, paying them allowance for doing chores so that they can learn how to manage their money and prioritize how they're going to spend it. Those are basic things, but within our busy world, it's really hard to do. So you're going to have to like trim down some of the obligations that you have made for yourself and for your family. And guess what? The only thing you have to do is get up, eat, go to school, go to work, come home, do your homework, and do your chores, keep the house clean, make dinner, take a bath, go to sleep. That's like really all you have to do. Like, you have to do. And if your daughter is in cooking classes and your son is going to play lacrosse and all these other things, you don't have to do it just because your friend's doing it, So try and eliminate your stress. But speaking again back to the parents, I wanted to kind of paint a picture for you of your child, your adult child's life, and why, and the reason why they cannot handle it, and what is happening when you just ask. I just innocently dropped by and wanted to drop off some bread that I baked. No, that's like the last thing that they want to encounter. When it's like 7 o'clock at night and they're busy with all the things that they got to do for the kids, and here's mom bringing bread, and it does sound like a thing to you, but it's a thing to them. So looking at your situation with empathy and with kindness, and like I said before, we're Gen X, so we're not built for emotions and stuff, but you have to learn. If you want to build a relationship with your child, you have to learn how to put yourself in their shoes, and so you can understand that, what, maybe let's figure out a way, like if I can text you, or you guys got to figure out a way to communicate that is not intrusive and, just peppered with a little kindness and empathy until they learn how to grow a backbone. I'm just saying. So that's what I wanted to share today is the central message is when you understand, when you have conflict like this, you have to understand the other side. And also for the kids, you got to understand your parents too, because we're like innocently, we're not trying to take over your life, tell you what to do. Is we want to be included. I want to know, like, hey, what's happening with you? And if you think that that's too much, then you can just say it, like, hey, Mom, I'm really overwhelmed right now. When I get a breather, can I call you then? Sure. And if they don't call you for 2 weeks, then, shut your pie hole and just wait, because they will come around. Because if you did your job right and you raised your child to be a loving son or daughter, and be kind and empathetic, and that they love you, and you've done a good job, don't worry about them not loving you, because it's not that they don't love you. It's just that they just cannot right now. I just cannot, because I cannot handle the stress. And I think that's a lot of where this is coming from. And in a perfect world, we would all unplug from this, unplug from everything, and go spend some time in the woods for like a week or two, and just kumbaya and wusa and all that, and just like reconnect again. I think this would solve a lot of the problems. We are overstimulated, and we are too connected to too many devices and too many screens. Because I think, I'm going to go look it up, but I think I read a study that said screen time causes anxiety. And really, again, that's another thing that's wrong with our kids. Okay, that's all I had to share for today. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Ding. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.